Good morning, everybody. It is 8:10 a.m. September 25th. Welcome to my channel. We got markets here that are just balancing. All right, they're balancing. Um, Yesterday, it's kind of a weird market. Definitely a weird market. Let me see if I can pull up something here for you guys, just to show you something. All right, give you a little tip here. What I like to use. We'll bring right up the internals here. Okay, I want to show you this yesterday. Now that's when we pulled back. I took a couple shorts here, profitable, didn't get the long run. However, once after 11 o'clock hit, right, this is because consumer sentiment was bad, the market just moved up, recovered, and then it just wasn't strong or weak for the rest of the day. All right, even though it was pushing up, that was mainly because of Nvidia. When the CEO of Nvidia said he stopped selling shares for now, it rocketed Nvidia. Nvidia couldn't take the rest of the market up. Okay, so this made me cautious of going short or long, and I just called it a day. That's why I love this indicator. All right, so it just was like there's no strength here or weakness. Okay, so just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, good morning, Luis. Welcome again. All right, so this morning we got some news. Nothing big, nothing big, but we got some news we'll get into. All right, and markets are balancing, getting ready to make a move. That's basically what's going on. All right, without further ado, welcome to my channel. My name's Steven Gonzalez. I use market profile and volume profile to find structure in the markets. All right, long supply and demand, gamma exposure levels, the most traded price of the year, the month, the week, in the previous day, all helps me find structure. That's my edge. That's how I analyze the market. Okay, hopefully you join me every day, 8:10 a.m. Okay, 8:10 a.m. Have a cup of coffee, have tea, drive into work. You want to hear what happened in the market. You want to hear what's going on this morning. You want to hear leaders and laggards, market news, economic calendar. We go over upgrades, downgrades. We go over the daily charts. And the main event around 8:30 a.m. I analyze the Nasdaq and the ES futures. All right, that's where I come up with the long and short trade scenarios. Okay, so hopefully you subscribe, set an alert, trying to at least reach 200 subscribers. That'd be an awesome milestone. So if you haven't done that, please do so. All right, if you like my content, please smash that like button. You can hear large orders hitting the tape of my ear. Those are large block orders hitting the tape. All right, so you can also follow me on X at Gonzo719. And when I do day trades and I feel like they're educational, I post them on my YouTube Shorts and my TikTok. That's at Gonzo719 Trader. Okay, you can check that out. All right, check those out. And of course, if you have any questions, leave comments. And if you have a question, you pop in here, ask me in the chat. I'll answer it. All right, I'll answer it. All right, so with that being said, we can get right into futures watch list. Okay, let's check out what's going on in the futures. All right, let's see who's leading the pack, which is the VIX. Let's check out this watch list here. All right, so VIX leading the pack. All right, up. We're not well up 1.95. We're holding under a 16 VIX, so 10-year yield continues to move higher despite rate cuts coming. All right, gold is a monster. All right, it just keeps trucking along. All right, up 2.2%, 0.22%. Russell's up 0.07. All right, the dollar's flat. The Dow's flat. ES is down 0.06, Nasdaq's down 0.18, Silver's down 0.39, 30-year bonds being sold down 0.45, Bitcoin down 1%, Ether down 1.05%, and crude is pulling back. Okay, now crude, China is getting aggressive with some stimulus and some cuts. All right, trying to drive that economy, and the crude hit the most traded price. Okay, yesterday of the rolling year. So once it hit that, now it's pulling back. That's what's supposed to happen. Okay, people probably took profits. All right, that's what's going on with crude. All right, let's go move on here to Mag 7 Plus here. Who's leading the pack here? We got Nvidia. Now Nvidia yesterday I was like this, what the heck is going on? It started pushing and pushing and pushing, and the CEO said he's not selling any more shares for the time being. That skyrocketed the stock. Okay, Microsoft is up 0.05. So there's not a lot of leaders here, all right, at all. Let's go to the little bit of a laggards here. Tesla down 0.50. Broadcom broke out to 175 yesterday. They are down 0.68. Coinbase with Bitcoin down 0.81. Right. Apple is down 1.05%. Now, let me see why that maybe is happening here. Here we go. Reuters reported earlier shipments of foreign branded phones, including Apple iPhones within China, fell 12.7% year over year at 1.87 million handsets in August. All right, there you go. That's why Apple is down. All right, moving on to the top sector stocks. Eli Lilly leading the pack, up 0.41, followed by Uber. All right, followed by Visa. They're having Department of Justice issues, antitrust. They pulled back yesterday. Johnson & Johnson up 0.11. All right, now, who's lagging here? Chevron and Exxon. No shocker here with crude falling 2%. Okay, that's not a shock. Not a shock at all. All right, let's go to the swing trade list. Who's leading the pack? Donald Trump stocks up 4.46%, followed by DraftKings up 1.94, followed by DoorDash, it got an upgrade, followed by Oracle up 1.15%, AstraZeneca up 0.77. All right, now we go to laggards. Who's lagging here? ServiceNow down 3.85. General Motors, a bunch of auto got downgrades today. So General Motors down 3.27%. BABA, after the rise yesterday, down 2.77%. Of course, that's always hurting people when it goes up, it gaps down. It's just a nightmare to watch. Ford also got a downgrade, down 1.93%. GameStop's down 1.68. Expedia down 1.37. Alcoa down 1.31. Union Pacific got a downgrade. That's why that's down. Lucid down 1.12. All right. Now, that's the swing trade list. Move back to top sector stocks. Move on to the guts, the sectors, the stuff that drives my day trades, right? The stuff that drives my day trades. So utilities is up 0.30. Okay, utilities is leading the pack. That's usually not a risk on sign. So up 0.30. All right, moving on. Who's lagging here? Technology is the largest weighted sector in the S&P 500. That is down 0.14, which is not a lot. Semis down 0.16. And energy is the laggard, down 0.25. But none of that is really down that much. Okay, none of it's really down that much. Now we can move on to the economic calendar. Boom. Let's do it. Let's look at it. I'm not sure Rosita's here, Muhammad's here. Who else we got? G-Man, K-Trader. I haven't seen K-Trader come pop up in a little bit. Or if somebody else is new, say hi. If not, just sit back and watch. All right, today, new home sales. All right, new home sales, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Really, that's all I'm looking at. Now, I will put something on if it's an A plus setup prior to this. But if I'm getting close to this, I'll wait till the noise to settle and then look at reassess. Okay, that's what's going on today as far as economic calendar. All right, let's go over some news that I was just talking about. Nvidia stock fell 0.3 after the chip giant rose more than 3% in previous session, buoyed by reports that the CEO Jensen Huang was done selling Nvidia shares after offloading more than 700 million worth of shares under a trading plan. That's why Nvidia ripped yesterday. Okay, Ford stock fell 2%, General Motors stock fell 3.3, and Rivian stock dropped 3.1 after Morgan Stanley cut its view on the auto industry. There you go. All right. Now, Trump stock rose at 5.5, bouncing after Republican candidate Donald Trump unveiled details on his economic plans for the country, including several new manufacturing proposals. All right, there's some news there. Now, go into farther news here. It looks like union saying striking. Union says striking Boeing workers not interested in latest contract offer. Looks like Southwest Air's lackluster profit fuels pressure to revamp business model. Meta readies AR glasses reveal at Connect event. Let's see what else. I'm only going to mention stuff that I haven't talked about. A federal judge on Tuesday declared unconstitutional a New York City law requiring food delivery companies to share customer data with restaurants. That's good for DoorDash, okay, and Uber. That's why Uber's up, and DoorDash also got to upgrade, okay? What else is going on here? Okay, that's about all I'm going to talk about here. Why don't we get right into upgrades, downgrades? See if there have been all right, let's look at them here together. So we'll go with upgrades here. What do we have here? DoorDash. Okay, DoorDash upgraded by two different firms. Okay, to market perform, to outperform a sector weight to overweight. Hewlett Packard also got upgraded. All right, let's check this one because let's see. Sometimes they're let's see here. Hewlett Packard. Okay, it's pretty much the same. We could pretty much stay on this one. Look at downgrades here. Expedia downgraded. There's the autos. Ford downgraded. General Motors downgraded. Let's see here. Rivian downgraded. There's the autos. Tyson Foods downgraded, and Union Pacific downgraded. Now coverage initiated. Apollo Global Management at an outperform. Marathon, ticker Mara. They are initiated outperform, $22 price target. Riot outperform, price target 15. Alcoa coverage resumed neutral, price target 32 to 36. All right, let's look at price target raises here or initiations first. Let's see here. Let's go initiations. Nothing really to talk about. Price target changes. Let's go there. Go to raises first. Lennar, price target raise 170 to 210. Duolingo 260 to 275. All right. Target lowered. Let's see who's got target lowered. Foot Locker target lowered from 35 to 27. Corsair Gaming target lowered from 10 to 8. Okay, I know there was more target lowers, but we don't have to get into all that. I think that's going to wrap up the news and everything, why things are moving, why things are not. Okay, we're going to move on to daily charts here. Moving on to daily charts. Give me 1 sec while I pull it up. All right, so you can see here in this daily chart, we're balancing. We're balancing. Okay. Now look, we broke the previous day's lows, but then got bought up. So every day you have a wick, you have buying excess. Okay. This market, sellers can't do anything, right? They're not in control at all. This is bullish structure. All right, where are we at now? 571.06. 571.06. We're right by the close. All right by the close. Let's look at the futures. You can see the coiling up here, right, in futures. And you can see last week's highs in futures, 57.96. That is the resistance. If we break that, we should get a nice move. Okay, now do we get the move of moves? Don't know. We might just break it today, though. Okay, 57.96, 59, 57.97. I'll talk about this later in futures. Moving on to Qs. Okay, here's the Qs. Where's the level? 485. That's been resistance, right? Got a swing high here. That's resistance. Back here, that's resistance. That's previous month's highs, previous week's highs right here. So the Qs, look, you can see that wick. It touched the previous week's highs and couldn't sustain it there. All right, where are we at now? 44.80. 44.80. You're kind of in the upper third of the session of yesterday. So once this breaks, like I've been saying, you probably got a clear shot to move up to all-time highs of 503.52. We just have to see. Remember, this has been relatively weaker than the SPY. All right, let's look at the live look of futures. You're going to see coiling up as well. Here's the coil. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're just begging to break what level here in futures? 202.59. 202.55, 202.59, whatever. Right there, last month's highs. You can see right here, last week's highs are being resistant. All we need to do is breach that. What's going to happen? All the shorts down here are going to have to cover, and you're going to propel higher. You're going to propel higher. Okay? We haven't been above that price since July 17th. Okay? July 17th. Now, that concludes our little daily charts here. All right? We go right to the triple-headed monster. All right? We go right to that 10-year yield. That 10-year yield's been pushing up. Okay? Now we'll go over that 10-year. Okay? You see the wicks here. Now, like I said, this I think is profit taking in the bond market. All right? Even if we make it up here, we're cutting rates. I expect yields to go down. I mean, I'd be shocked if we rates start going higher as the Fed cuts rates, but hey, you never know what can happen. So keep an eye on this. All right, what do we got next? The dollar. That dollar I saw was flat before. Now remember, this is that range. Now look, it looks like we broke down yesterday, trying to recover. Now look, where are we getting support? Right at last week's lows. Right at last week's lows. So still trying to hold on this dollar. Okay, when gold's rocketing, dollar's been falling a little bit. Okay, interesting. All right, you go back to this swing low. We're holding below that. Just very interesting, because the more you devalue the dollar, that sends gold higher. Okay, now let's look at the VIX. VIX is 30 days out of fear. 30 days out of fear. Where are we at with that VIX? We are at a 15.64. All right, like I said, I believe this should probably stay around here or higher in the end of September and October. And then you got election. So I think the volatility should be here to stay a little bit. Remember, 16 VIX is a 1% expected move, plus or minus 1% in the S&P 500. Okay, we're right by that, so expect nice moves. Now, the volume I saw today was low. The volume has not been great this week. All right, it has not been great. So that's one thing to pay attention to. For some reason, the volume has just not been great. All right. Now, go to the main event here. That's where we get into the long and short trade scenarios, and we analyze the ES futures and NASDAQ futures. Okay. Boom. Here we are. Let's look at this. Now, the rolling profile. Okay. Here we go. Market profile, volume profile at its finest. It's my baby. It's the way I like to look at the markets. Lays out the data perfectly for me. Okay, perfectly for me. Let me get my marker out, and we will analyze together. Remember, I do this live. So, all right, here we go. So what did we do yesterday? Remember, I talked about these lows yesterday, and it's kind of what happened. All right, once we breached these lows, caused a little flush, more or less a little bit of a bear trap, and we recovered big time. Okay, we recovered big time and closed at the highs. Okay, that's what happened yesterday. All right, now, where are we at now? Price is right here, 57.89. Okay, we're within yesterday's session. We're within yesterday's session. Okay, Now we have a very, very weak high, confluence high. That's around 57.93 to 57, let's call it 95, this area. Okay, either that's going to be resistant again, or we're going to bust through it and break out. That's the level to the upside. We got a demand zone here, but this thing is getting, you keep knocking on that door, you're eventually going to break it. Okay, very important level to look at, 57.94, 57.95. Okay, that's a very important level. Okay, to the downside, where's our level? Okay, now we have the most traded price of yesterday here, and we have a couple demand zones. All right, appropriately, the last one lines right up with this weak low, with this confluence low. Now, why is it confluence? Well, look at this value area low and the overnight low and this demand zone. And guess what? It's the bottom of the most traded price of the week. Right there. 57.73 needs to be defended by bulls. Okay? So any pullback that comes down here, if that gets defended, I'm interested in a long. Okay? Okay, that's the levels to look at. That's really key. Now below this, you probably go down and test down here somewhere. All right? I really don't want to, don't get me wrong. If the market's not that weak, I will look at a long down here. But for this breakout level, I kind of want to stay in this area. Okay? That's really the levels to look at. Now remember, value area is here from yesterday. That green. That's 70% of the trading volume happened there. That's the meat of yesterday's volume. Okay? So just understand that for the really the majority of the session, once it recovered, these are longs. Okay? So if you break that, it's not going to be good. Okay? I'm not saying it's bearish. They're not ready yet. We're not ready to break out yet. Okay? Now, I forgot profile, but the profile is showing balance. So here's that profile. Pretty much a bell curve. But we're starting to get not excess here. You see it's kind of flat up here? That's because of this right here. And you even have 57.97 all-time highs right there. Okay, so but this is really the 57.95 is the level that we need to talk about. All right, so we can get right into scenarios here. Let's do it. Let's do it. I think it might just be Luis today. Looking at the scenarios. Are you? I don't know if I asked you this, Luis. Are you a profile guy, or is it something you're learning here? Now you might not even be still here. I'm just trying to figure out what your knowledge is on the profile. As you go to answer that, or if you're still not here, or if you're here, like I said, this goes on with or without anybody watching because this is my process, right? So let's get into scenarios. All right, we're going to start off with the bull scenario. Okay, price is right here, inside yesterday, right? Inside yesterday. So we got supply here. So what could happen here? Now, of course, we could bust out, right? I'm not chasing that. Hey, there's K-Trader. 1 month in. Nice. Hey, K-Trader, I don't know if you saw my comment that one of my videos you said you made some money on my analysis. That was awesome. That was really cool. Whoa, what's up, baby? Buncake 56. Never saw you before. Welcome to my channel. All right. Now let's get into scenarios. Like I said, if we break out right here, I'm gonna look for that pullback. Okay. I'm gonna look for the pullback to this area to see if we can go all-time highs again. All right. That's number one. Now, number two is you got a demand here. We could do that. Okay. You got a demand here, right? This is the last line of defense. Right there. 57.73. That's that weak low. Okay, that's that confluence low. Below that, you accept value below that, that's bearish, intraday bearish, okay? But we want to see this, and boom, I think we go higher, okay? And I don't know how high because there's no resistance up here, okay? That's the longs. That's the longs, all right? Now, short side. Let's go with the shorties. Let's go with the shorties, all right? So, now, if you're looking at the other way, and this market's not strong, let's say the market's not strong, and we do go like this, break a little bit, okay? You correct this. Then you do a lower high, lower high. Well, now you're going to start testing into these demands, right? Now you have to get through this, okay? And I think you would probably do this, hit it, but if you started to break this week low and you started to accept value below, okay, that should revisit yesterday's lows at 57.54. That should do that, okay? If the market is super weak, okay, if it's super weak, you got little single prints right there. Take those out, and you're going to probably test this demand zone, okay? You're going to test this demand zone. Take that out. This is where the thin thing comes in that poor structure to the left here. This toothpick holding up the elephant, all right? Now, there's my boy Elfie right there. Toothpick holding up the elephant. So that's poor structure. I keep talking about it. As long as we're in this area, I got to talk about it. And if we start to do that, we're going to rip down to the 5,700. All right. Below that is really bad. But let's just say that for now. Okay. There is our scenarios for the bear side. All right. Let's look at structure with the NASDAQ now. All right. Let's look at structure for the NASDAQ. Here we go. NASDAQ, boom, right there. And this NASDAQ supply, boy, it's been a beast. It's been a beast. All right, let's analyze it together, all right? Here's our profile. You got a bell curve. Perfect bell curve. That means balance, folks. But we already know that, all right? We already know that. All right, now, you can see NASDAQ is relatively weak in structure. Okay, you don't have the poor high, the weak high up here. Okay, the overnight high did not reach yesterday's highs. Price is here. Okay, inside the session. Inside the session. All right, and the NASDAQ, came down here yesterday and then ripped all the way up with the help of NVIDIA. But once it got up into the supply again, it could not catch its feet. And the market internals, like I showed you earlier, were just not supporting a market to make an outsized move. It just wasn't there. NVIDIA is not just going to be able to overtake the rest of the market, even though it's a heavyweight, market cap weighted stock. Okay? Pancake every day. Every morning, you can have my presence. I'll grace you with my presence every day, live. All right? Starting 8:10. All right? Starting 8:10. All right, so let's look at some levels here. All right? Let's look at some levels. All right? We got a very balanced profile overnight. Now, remember the week low. Remember the week low that I talked about in the ES. Okay, remember, value area is 70% of the trading volume from yesterday. These are longs, folks. All right, 70% of that trading volume you pushed down. The rest of the session you held up here, 70%. So value area low lines up with the overnight low and lines up with the most traded price of the week. Okay. Bulls got to defend here. Now you got a demand zone here as well. Bulls have to defend this area. Okay. If they do, I feel we go up. If we don't, we're probably going to reach down to the yesterday's lows, maybe down to this demand zone. Okay, that's what it's really about. And this supply zone has just been a beast. Think about the QQQ 485. It's the same thing. It just can't break that area. Not yet. Not yet. Okay, so that's really what we're talking about here. All right. Can we break 202.14, yesterday's highs? Right. Got a little bit of single prints right here. That doesn't matter right now. It's all about this week low. Okay. And this demand. So we can get right into scenarios. All right, let's do it. Now we're going to start off with the bull scenario. Okay. Here we go. Now price is right here. Right now we're at the most traded price yesterday. That box right there. That's the most traded price of yesterday. That's yesterday's volume point of control, the VPOC. All right. So what did we talk about before? Here's that week low, right? Now week low, I'm going to say is anywhere from 277 to about 200, maybe 60. So this area. Now first defense, let's talk about it. All right. Now the Nasdaq right here is the most traded price yesterday. So that's a pretty important level. What could happen? Right. So we could push up and we could hold this level. And then that could propel us higher. Now this supply zone just needs to be taken care of. It just hasn't. Okay. Then you got another supply zone ahead of it. You got a lot of overhead supply in Nasdaq. Okay. Next, where do we go? We have a demand zone right here. But this box right here is what I'm going to tell you is the next defense for bulls. Okay, so if we happen to land anywhere in here, this demand down to the week low that I talked about right here, and we recover, hold, we should go higher. We should probably try to break out of the supply. Okay, below that, acceptance below that, I don't want to have anything to do with a long here. Maybe down here, but not there. Okay, give you this scenario. All right, if we did just kind of like rip down and then recover real quick, higher low, and the market's not that weak, that is a long that I'd be willing to take. And you probably go back to the mean here. The most traded price of the week currently is 270, 20070. All right, now let's talk about the bear side. All right, now this big supply zone, we still have this much supply, and then you have a big one above us. So like I said, tough sledding for the Nasdaq. Tough sledding. Now there might even be a new supply zone right here. Let's just look at. Let me break out here. Right there is a new supply zone. Right there. But I'm already in supply, so I don't have to put it down. Remember, market profile is just 30-minute bars spread out. That's all it is. And then I crunch them together and it makes a profile. That's all market profile is. Okay. So, bear side. Let's talk about it. All right. So we know yesterday's high is 202.14. All right. And you got supply. So this area here, sellers, what are you going to do? What are you going to do if we come up here? Okay. So if we hold this and we come up here, pop up to make new, or we break yesterday's RTH highs, but let's say we do a lower high. We come back, come through the open, and now we're probably going to test most traded price of yesterday. Okay. If we break that, yes, we're going to test this demand zone. And like I said, this area bulls need to defend. If we do this, but then come through and come under the most traded price of the week, and you establish acceptance. Acceptance would be like this. It's just hanging out here. It can't go back. We're going to test yesterday's lows, 199.52. Okay, with more weakness, boom, we go down to this demand. We could bounce, or if you take it out, what do we have below that I've been keep talking about? Elfie. A toothpick should not hold up an elephant, right? So if you look to the left, here's that gap up day, all right? Underneath this demand is thin volume. We should crush, go back to the most traded price of the month, which is 196.85. I keep this in my scenarios because it's real. Okay? All right. Do I know this happens? No. If you break this, boy, that's not good at all. But I have to put it in there. Okay? Because if we do this and the market starts to really get weak, we are going to do that. It's just because there's no support here. Okay? That's it, folks. That's it. That does it today. Now, K Trader, Luis, and the new pancake. Not a pancake, a pancake. All right. Welcome today. Welcome back, Luis. Welcome back, K Trader. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed that analysis. Now, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. All right. If not, I hope you understood what I'm saying, because I know market profile, what I'm saying, the words I use might be confusing to some people who are not familiar with it, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Okay. Hopefully you enjoyed it. All right. So, if you did enjoy it, all right, and you're new, like Pancake, how about you? How about you throw a subscription? Pancake, how about you throw a subscription on? All right, subscribe and set that alert. All right. Also, smash the like button for me. Smash that like button for me. All right. All right. And you can follow me, of course, on X at Gonzo719. Now, of course, Pancake, you're new. I'm sure K Trader and Luis know this already. When I do a day trade and it gives educational value, I do post them. And I tell you why I took them. Okay, check out my YouTube shorts and you can check out my TikTok at Gonzo719 Trader. You can see my trades because once the market opens, I don't know the information that I'm gonna have. Right now, I don't know. I don't know if the market's gonna be super weak. I don't know who's gonna be leading. All right. Oh, you did. Cool. Cool. So that's that. Okay. Now remember, your boy Elfie. I'm waiting to capitalize on it. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. But I keep reiterating it because it's real. Okay. All right. Keep reiterating it because it's real. Now, K Trader, you're asking me which market profile do I use? It's a plugin. I use NinjaTrader. It's a plugin. It's from ranchodinero.com. I believe it's .com. It's a one-time fee. Okay. It's called the TPO Session Profile. Check it out. Well worth it. All right. Well worth it. It's a lot cheaper than other things like Window Trader, which is something like $250 a month or something like that. It's crazy. Okay. TOS has monkey bars that they're just not. TOS doesn't use tick data. So, all right. That's what I use. All right. So everybody have a great day. Okay. Hopefully you enjoyed what I had to show you guys. And good luck today. Stay green. Remember, no trade's a trade. Be patient. Stalk like a sniper or like a surfer waiting to catch a wave. All right. That's how you got to look at trading. Everybody have a great day, and I'll see everybody tomorrow morning. Pancake, hopefully you come back tomorrow. All right. And thank you, Luis and K Trader. Take it easy, guys.